Yep, and you're live, Shannon.
Okay. Well, good morning, everybody, or good day. I don't know where you're at or where you're located when you're watching this, or even how you got here. If you kind of accidentally stumbled into the room or you actually came intentionally to listen today, or if you felt divinely guided, no matter how you arrived here in this virtual room with me, I'm glad you're here. And I'm glad to be able to spend a little time with you on this beautiful, beautiful summer day on the shores of Lake Superior in northern Minnesota in the middle of the boreal forest. And I come here today. My name is Shannon Crossbear, and I work with We the World and the We campaign at we.net. And we're all about gathering organizations that are doing miraculous work under 11 campaigns to transform our world. And you can learn more about that at we.net. So, and that, we're in this Unity Week, great big convergence of all kinds of great things that are going out there, sorting through what makes sense, what doesn't make sense to us, what will help us get to the next place, and thinking about all of the different things that create a world that works for all and for unity. And unity, it's important in unity, I think, that we have information. And so, in order to even know that unity can be sought after. And so, today I want to just start by thinking about this particular session. We talked about water as the unifier. And with that theme, I'm thinking about how do we support all of the efforts that are happening around protecting the water. And so I've been in these rooms, and some people have talked about this, but I want to talk about it right now. And that is that we have women on the line, water protectors in northern Minnesota, who are holding the line so that the line 3 does not go through the very water sources that support our food sources, that support our life. And they are standing there, and there's been a call that went out from great grandmother Mary Lyons that if you're able to go and stand on that line with them, that they can use people there. It requires being strong and being able to take care of yourself and following the nonviolent rules that are in place in the camp. But they're calling upon people at this time to go and to support. And if you can't go by placing yourself there, then there are other ways that you can support. You can support by providing resources, both resources directly for the camp, but also then resources in order to take care of the legal aspects of that protest and those water protectors and those women that are getting, and grandmothers and others that are getting arrested and being charged. So I want you to pay attention. You're not going to find it in the mainstream media. It's not happening. Very little attention has been paid, but I want you to pay attention. And you can do that very easily. You can just type in, honor the earth, or you can type in line 3 protests. You can type in Minnesota water protest. Any of those things will get you to a place where you can at least get yourself informed about what's happening so that you can really provide the support. concrete measures for our waters. That's what's needed at this point in time. You know, all of that we have done, the water walkers, the women that have come before that have protected the waters, all of us that have the world water law that's being talked about, all of those efforts are needed and need to come together right now to unify so that we no longer are doing things to harm our waters. And that's you know, there's many efforts out there and great things that are being done, and let's elevate them, but let's also think individually about our responsibilities and how we in our lives can change the way that we do things so that we're not contributing to that harmful use of water and not understanding what we're doing to the water and we do to each other. What we do to the earth, we do to each other. And it is happening. So I wanted to say that and encourage everybody to take care of the water and to take care of themselves, because when you take care of the water, you take care of yourself. So I live on Lake Superior, and like I said, and I am inviting you into this wagon. I have a story wagon here. And there's, of course, many stories that go with the story wagon. But today I had kind of made a commitment to letting Born in a Cloud of Smoke talk a little bit about water. So I am going to move out of the way and let her come and greet you, and she has some things to say about water. So, all right, thanks. Bonjour, Anine. Good morning. Again. Come on in. Ah, it's a beautiful day. Good day. Good day out there. It's this time of year. So before I came in here to talk to y'all, I was outside. I was talking to my other relatives and saw some of the plant nation, tree nations. And I went down to the water. I do that every day. I go down to the water. We should go to the water too. So I go down to the water so that I can remember. Water helps me remember. Helps me remember about life. Always teaching me something. So today when I went down to the water, I was thinking about this wonderful water that we have. I put some prayers out for those water protectors. Yeah. And I said thank you to the water. I told the water I loved it and that I would respect it. So that's what happened. Yeah, so I know I was going to be talking to you about the water today. And I wasn't really quite sure everything I wanted to say. But talk about the water being, well, it's sacred. The water is sacred. So I told people the other day, I'm very connected with water. We all are. We're all made up of water. But my life story has to do with water. I was born on the water. I was born in Lake Nipigon. Yeah. There was an island there. And in that island, there was a fire. And on the day that the fire happened, that's the day I was born. I was there, but I didn't even know it. There was smoke all around. My mom said in my birth story, she said there was smoke and she was in labor, ready to have me, but they had to leave right then. And so they got in the canoe, and I was born in the canoe on the water. They say that I was the last person born on that island, but that's not true. I wasn't born on the island. I was born on the water. But they called me born in a cloud of smoke. Born in a cloud more, they say, but born in a cloud of smoke because that smoke was billowing over the canoe when I was born. And that's where they saw me, in that cloud of smoke. But you can see why I'm a water person, because I was born there on the water. I don't come from a water clan, though. I come from the bear clan. And where I'm at might be different where you're at, but where I'm at, the bear clan are supposed to be the teachers and the healers. I don't know if I'm either, but I learned a lot from other people. I learned about the water, about how we're all made up of water. I learned about how we begin in the stream of water. Those are things I learned. I also learned from those grannies and those aunties along the way about how to use those waters for medicine. And if you think about it, water is, we always say, the first medicine, the first medicine. To drink it, to clean a wound with it, to dry our tears, to heal our hearts with it. That's all the things that water can do. And water changes all the time. Yeah. All the time. They say that we always knew that water carried memory. Now, I guess the scientists are starting to say that those Kiwi, yeah, they're starting to know what we've known for a long time. Water has memory. That water, it carries all that memory with it. So when you get here, and you have that water in you, you carry those memories of your ancestors. Maybe not here, but here in your heart. Yeah. That's somewhere in that brain. I don't know where. Yeah. The things we remember, the things we forget. So if you're born, before you're born, you're in that water, you're in that fluid, you're in that water. And you come out, and right then and there, things change. But you're still part of that spirit world, they say. There's a soft spot on the top of your head. Yeah. And as long as that's open, you're not totally on this earth clock yet. You haven't forgotten where you come from. Yeah. After that closes up, we spend most of our time trying to remember why we came here, who we are. Yeah, that's the truth of it. So there's lots of different water stories that are told, but stories that are told are water stories. They sometimes they're they seem kind of funny, but they all have something to teach us. Yeah, all those water stories. And if you think about it, everybody has water stories. So for the Ojibwe people, the water stories happen with the big flood. Oh, that flood was so big. And it covered all of the land. We were then really just a water planet. Just a water planet. For that time. So when those waters rose again, we were on Turtle Island, but we were in a different place on Turtle Island. And I'll talk to you about why we call it Turtle Island and what that turtle shell is all about in a bit. But this time, our water story was about how we traveled from way out east. And we started coming this way because we were told that we would come to a place where the food grew upon the water. And when we got to this place, this region, these homelands, there was wild rice. The food grew upon the water. And so that's where we kind of made our place. That's being guided to be there. That's important. And we've been here ever since. But now, that part of the water story is that they're doing things to the water that are destroying our wild rice. They're destroying our sacred way of being. That makes me so sad. But there are water protectors, and you can be one of them. So I want you to think about that. So I was talking about that turtle, why we call that Turtle Island Turtle Island. Well, you know, you probably already heard some of those stories about how it was how Nanabazu, called upon those animals to try to find the earth and had them dive down. The kingfisher dove down well, the greatest diver of all, and he couldn't find any land, and then they were needing to find land at that time, but then they sent I sent the beaver down. It was pretty good at getting, mud and stuff, and nope, all of them kept muskrat down, and finally it was that lowly muskrat that came and almost died, but he had that earth in the palm of his hand, and they put it on that turtle's back, and that Turtle Island became. But the thing is, if you look at that turtle shell, that's one story, but there's lots of stories of that turtle shell. That turtle shell was a navigational map. Did you know that? Did you know that it's a map of both the sky and the earth and this continent? Did you know that? So if you look on the turtle's back, and you can see those 13 moons that represent those 13 moons, and the 28 days in between those 13 moons is represented there on that turtle's back. Lots of people kind of hear about that, but I wonder how many people hear about the mountain ranges that are on that. The rivers, all the major rivers are on that back. And how that turtle shell allowed trade to happen between the St. Lawrence River and this area. Yeah, my mom and dad, yep, in their time, and the time right before them, not that long ago, they used that as a map, and we just threw it away. Nobody even pays attention anymore to that. Yeah. So there's a lot of things that we don't pay attention to, that we lose. And the only way to get it back is to find the memory of it. And where is memory? In the water. But it has to be clean water. Yeah, today I was down at the water and I came back and took a nice drink of water, and I was thinking about that. How grateful I am that I have this good water to drink. Thinking about people that don't have good water to drink and what happens to them. It's like people that don't have good air to breathe. What happens to them? Look, they get sick. Yeah. So I was thinking about that water because this water that I'm drinking, it comes from an artesian well. It comes from the earth, not through pipes, not through chemicals put in to try to clean it up. It's already clean. The earth cleaned it. The earth took care of me. And the water takes care of me. So I was thinking about water and memory and what it is about this water and what it is about helping us to remember, because it holds memory. So I was thinking about what's happening right now in the world and how we could fix a lot of things if we cleaned up our water. You know that old saying, it's in the water? Yeah. Well, what if it really is in the water? I've heard that in some places, in some cities, that water has so many chemicals in it. Yeah, that water is so bad that you're taking drugs every time that you take a drink of water. Drugs aren't even good for your body. Just maybe little bits of it, but still, those systems weren't made to filter out that stuff. There's a lot of problems with the water. And then if they think, oh, we're going to pay for water. Okay, we'll get water to people. And they charge lots of money. So people that don't have lots of money, they don't have water. That's immodest. That's crazy. But the thing when I went down to the water today, the water said, it's okay. People can make a difference. That human beings can change this. And they can start by drinking water. Using water as a medicine. Protecting the water. Now, everybody can do something. Okay.
I think that's all I have to say for right now. I'm gonna turn it back. Let Shannon say something. Thanks for listening. I love you all. And drink the water.
Okay.